Aloha. This is Hope Johnson with Wisdom Dialogues coming to you from Hawaiian Paradise Park on the beautiful big island of Hawaii. Hooray! Yay, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be with you. I love you. Well, I just had a week of lots of relaxation, lots of just laying around, having fun with my friend, blocking, smoking, talking, laughing, walking, couple adventures, stuff like that. And I will tell you, in the relaxation, that's where the most of all of your insights and wisdom and everything comes, just in the relaxation. There's nothing that's more productive than that. And all of the things that we seem to do, we don't really do, and they would all be relaxing too if we weren't identifying as the doer of the things that we seem to do. Because it also applies to the doer of the things we don't seem to do. It's like, I don't do that. I want to be doing that, but I don't do that. You know, someone was recently telling me, I want to be working out every day, but I don't do that. And the thing is, when the thoughts are going to, you trying to control your behavior, you're just not allowing the creativity that would naturally come through. So even a thought of, oh, I need to relax more. Let's say I need to relax more. It's like you really only need to be aware of that thought. You need to observe the thought. So you see, you don't really need anything but to see clearly. So that's like a choice right there in the moment. You know, like this morning, I noticed my mind was distracted. And I just observed that my mind was distracted. And that's it. It's not a thing that I need to do anything about. I don't have to do anything about that. It's just observing it. And see, when people observe these things, it's so common to get judgmental about it, like it shouldn't be there or like it shouldn't be that way. But what it's doing, whatever your perception is, what it's doing is teaching you. You know, that's how you're learning how to wake up, and ultimately you're just going to wake up from dreaming. But all these different experiences that transpire are just for that. And when you're choosing to see them in a different way, you're choosing to use them as something else, then they become something else to you. So then the world becomes, becomes this thing that seems like it's heavy, or it seems like you have to get better at things. Okay. But, say you see someone else, maybe of your same age range and seeming means or whatever, and they seem to be doing way better than you. Okay. So that's a trick. That's a trick of the imagination. You are not different from them. You're just not different. Everyone who's arising in your perception is actually coming to you just as much as the one you seem to be. They're all coming from you to give you a sense of these differences and give you a sense of the shame you wanted to see. Okay, you tried to throw it off of yourself and wanted to see it outside of yourself. That's what this whole world is about. It's just projecting like that. So you get a sense of, oh, someone's doing better than me or someone's doing worse than me, and you get these comparison things going, and you're totally fooling yourself because the whole scene is coming from you. All the people that you're using to compare to yourself, including yourself, it's all coming from the same place. So it's all just it's a setup. It's a setup that there's to thinking that there's something that can be compared here. And no matter what, it's always like the carrot and the stick, because it's always like you can always get better. Like someone might be envious of someone else who seems to have a lot of money. Okay. And then that person who seems to have a lot of money, they're going to be envious of something else. That's just how the ego goes. See, and the ego's thoughts are constantly cropping up, pretending to be you, sounding like your voice, and seeming like it helps you. Right? This is going to help you. And then it's like, it's so unstable. It'll go, do this, this is going to help you. And then you find yourself doing it. And it's like, oh no, what have you done? This is the worst thing. That's the ego. See? It's like first, oh yeah. And then, no, what have you done? That's all the ego. And someone asked me before, earlier today, didn't you say that the ego isn't even real? And I said, yes, that's right. It isn't even real. It's a thought system that we put into play that comes up all day long, and which we have a choice. We could either choose that thought system as our reality, choose that thought as our reality, or we can bring that thought to what's really true. And that's really just a matter of observation. Aloha. How are you doing, Asana?
Good. How are you tonight?
Fantastical.
Awesome. You are. So what's going on the island there?
What's going on the island?
On the island, yeah.
On the island, we're doing it island style.
Okay. I love it there.
Me
I love
too.
island style.
Yeah. Yeah, dancing.
Yeah.
Farmers markets and
Oceans
and sunshine and gardens.
Yeah.
Juicy fruits. Juicy fruits. That's right.
You got your juicy fruit garden going now?
Pretty well. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
We're getting a lot of bananas. We got a huge stack of bananas today.
Like those little ones?
Huge ones. Huge.
Oh.
Yes.
Awesome.
I don't know which ones they are. So what's up with you? Did you have something you wanted to bring up for Wisdom Dialogues?
Not in particular, but I will say this, a lot of judgment messages coming my way.
Judgment messages. Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me about this.
Well, I'm lucky. I guess I have a lot of people around me, friends and family that are good at pointing out things to me, right?
Yes.
And so that's been coming up, a lot of things around different judgments that I have, and it's difficult to swallow from the ego's point of view.
So you're perceiving judgments as reflected from other people, you mean?
Yeah, know that I'm being judgmental.
That you're being judgmental. Are they reflecting back to you too? Or are you just seeing that in yourself without any reflection?
They're making comments, and then that's my perception. And they're saying it out of love, but they're pointing it out to me.
What are they pointing out now?
That I could maybe make a statement, the old pattern of seeing somebody and making a stupid comment, about some little thing about them, right? That means nothing, but just some random judgments.
So you're saying a random comment came out that was a judgmental comment, and then they brought that up to you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So okay. It's several in different ways from several people.
Interesting. What fun.
So I'm like, oh my God, the universe is screaming at me.
Yeah. So then what happens when someone tells you? How do you feel when someone tells you something like that? Do you notice how you feel?
Of course I don't. I hate it.
You hate it. Okay.
Yeah. It's like then I judge myself. Then I'm like, oh my God, what kind of awful person are you?
Okay. So that's the reaction. Okay. So that's the reaction. You're getting a bunch of thoughts after being triggered emotionally. right? You're
Right.
getting such a big old
Right. Right.
cluster of thoughts. So
Right.
your that feeling reaction is what is the means for healing this, that feeling reaction.
Right.
Okay. So you're following the thoughts, you're getting distracted, you're not being with the feeling reaction. See, those thoughts about the situation and all that stuff, those are totally meaningless. All
Oh, it's
you
a
need is the
distraction?
reaction. Yes, all you need is the reaction, because the reaction is the means. When you have the reaction, you're going, I hate it, right? Okay, so good. You know that that reaction must not be worthy of you, since you're not, it's
Right.
not a feeling, right?
Right.
So that means whatever thoughts you were following anyways are completely meaningless and only projecting that feeling reaction. So you don't need to follow those. So you can be in kind of like, for me, it's like I'm basking in that reaction, because underneath the surface layer that makes me say, I hate it, there's the release of it. And that release is going through it. It's actually by going through it where the release is.
Yeah, sure. And then with it happening like within couple of days with a few people, it was like being so obvious to me, so feeling grateful because it, makes a bigger impact. Yeah, I guess for me, right, my ego is like they hear it from one person and I don't use it really verbally react. I just kind of take it in. And
Mhm.
so uh anyway, so I can blow that off, if it's just one little comment from somebody, right? Well, that's their perception or whatever, we can always rationalize or make it pink,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
so but when it happens a few times, it makes you sit up and pay attention,
Yeah.
right?
So
um,
all that means now, the sit up and pay attention thing, all that means now is when it arises again, you're more alert to it. And you can see more to it. So you're paying more attention. It's not like something about you needs to change though. Don't let it go to in that direction, because once you put a foot in that direction, you go down a suffering hole. You don't want
right.
that.
Well, that's the first thing you do. That's the first thing you think is, oh my God, I better change.
That's
Right.
right. That's the
Mm.
ego's voice every time.
Right. Right. But then in actuality, it's not who we truly are, so what are you changing? You're changing a fake ID personality,
Well,
right?
you can't change it.
Or right, there is no
You can't
changing
change
it.
it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
The more
That's
you
true.
try, the more you stick that pattern in.
Right.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
there's nothing to change. It's just giving you something to feel through, really.
Right.
And you're making a choice in that because you're choosing to be with it instead of trying to project it. And the only reason why it would make you any kind of upset or have a question or anything like that about it, then it's because you're viewing it in a way that hurts you. And all it's there for is to help you purify your sight so you can see things clearly.
Mhm.
So it's like, don't resist that by adding any kind of shame onto
Mhm.
it. And it's also getting getting an idea of what are these shameful thoughts that come up. One of them is, I've got to change. Even a question, do I need to change? Of course you don't. You're not capable of changing, and you're only watching a show. None of this stuff is actually happening. So it's through your observation only where the change and the action happens. The change that occurs, the only change that can occur is purification. It's not like you get a change. It's just like it's purification of these kinds of thoughts. So it's
Mhm.
like, when you get something that triggers you, you get something 3 times, that's usually telling you, hey, you didn't see this before. There was something for you to feel here, not something to change about yourself. And then, there it is again. And 3 times, like, oh, thank goodness. Thank you for getting my attention. Oh, okay. And, you'll have insights and you'll receive information that'll show you how you're secretly attacking yourself so you could stop doing that. That's what all those things are for.
Yeah, I figured that, yeah, it's, the judgment is really judgment of myself. And when I let go of that judgment of myself, then there won't be any other judgment either.
Right. And here's the thing. If you perceive someone as being judgmental of you, that's a sign
Yeah.
that you're being judgmental. And you can also get the perception of someone being judgmental, and they can even think it's about you, and you don't take it one bit personally.
Yeah.
See?
All right.
So when I was hanging out with my friend, I got a couple of, reflections that I was too loud at times. My voice is loud, I was too loud at times. And not closing certain doors. There are certain doors that need to be closed, according to my friend, and not closing the certain doors. And my friend would get a judgmental kind of vibe that is great. I love it, because there's not my ego and her ego. There's just the ego. So when the ego arises, then it's all it is my job to see that. Right. So when the ego arises, I just notice that she's being mean to herself. And when I notice that she's being mean to herself, it's like compassion automatically extends through me. It comes to me and through me like that. So that's the way it
Nice.
seems.
Oh,
Okay.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. It's just, the thing is, it's not about you at all.
Right. No,
It's
okay.
really not about you. I was telling one of my friends yesterday, I said, yeah, this other friend gets annoyed by the decibel of my voice. And my friend goes, how could that possibly be? I just love to hear your voice. And it's like, that's how it is, though. That's how the game is. Like, we have these little things where they fit in this certain way just so that we could get this kind of experience. That's just how it is. I mean, if you're annoyed by my voice, that's perfect for you. Am I going to try to change my voice? No. Right?
Yeah,
So,
no.
my friend goes, what, does Tony just do everything for you? And I go, well, if I leave doors open or something like that, he doesn't mind. Like, and then I was saying, when I go over to my friend Leia's place, she doesn't have any doors on stuff. Like, you just go to the cabinet and just get stuff and roll. You just cruise. I'm like, I'm sure over time I can learn to shut doors, though. I'm only going to be here a week.
Oh, I bet you have a problem turning off the lights too, huh?
Oh, no, not the turning off the lights thing. I'm more of like turn them on and turn them back off as soon as possible. I like to have low lights.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Or, one of them was the fact that I use an overhead light to cook.
Mm.
See?
Yeah, well, yeah, to cook, but I'm like you. I like low lights. I said, I'm like you. I like the low lighting. I don't like overhead lights, but for cooking, yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, when someone gets annoyed and it seems to be about me, I just don't take it to be about me in the first fucking place.
Yeah, I know. I love that.
That's why that's why you're finding yourself trying to brush it under the carpet, because you're already taking it to be about you. Otherwise, you wouldn't brush it off the carpet. Yeah. You would bask in it.
Oh, yeah, right.
See? So
isn't it that guilty thought, that self-guilty thought that makes you do that?
Well, of course, it's all the same thing. You can call it all the same thing. You can all.
Oh, yeah, right. I suppose that's true. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's being silly.
Yeah, it's not being yourself. That's for sure.
Yeah, because see how when you take it to be about you, all of a sudden shame ensues, and there's something wrong, and something needs to be fixed.
Right.
You can't fix anything. Nothing's broken. This is a reflection that you're getting. It's a reflection of your thinking. The person saying it to you and everything. the way you're
Right.
taking it. The thing is, for me, no matter what the ego is saying, I don't let the ego just talk to me. Us, you know,
Yes.
the ego always comes with an upset feeling. I don't just let the
Right.
ego talk to me and tell me what this is about.
Oh, I like that. That's what I say. To get control over that thing. No.
Well, yeah, the
But
thing is, it's just when you notice what the ego is, it's kind of like, I don't believe that. That's just not something that's believable to me.
right.
Not a battle, it's not a fight, it's nothing like that. It's just like, that's just funny. That thought's funny. Like thoughts will occur to me, like when I'm in a space with a person. Thoughts will occur to me that are judgmental or victimized by anything they did or something like that. But one phrase me and my friend were using this week is, we're just slipping right past any of that stuff. See,
Mm,
is slip right past any of that stuff. So, and then we can enjoy each other. Like my friend related to me that, she got these thoughts that I should be doing something, because I'm like super good at lounging. Like if you invite me over your house, you can just totally do everything. I'm good with that. I will lay around. You can like bring me food. You can do the dishes, all that stuff. And I'm totally good. Right. So I'll go like, if no one brings me any food, I'll be in the kitchen. I'll be making some stuff. And then I'll just put my bowl over to the side or something. So, my friend was relating to me about, getting triggered by these things that I seem to be doing, and the way that my friend thinks people should be doing things.
right.
Contrast there, right?
Right.
And then she
Yeah.
realized she could just slip past that and enjoy me.
Right.
Isn't that so fun?
Yes.
See, if I was in, I gotta change, who knows? We
Right.
could end up in a fight
Right.
or something. Because
Right.
it's all shame, but it's shame stuff. And
Right.
like, I don't mind if I need to go home because I'm just like not what's the word? Pulling my own weight. I'll just go home. Because at home I don't have to do that.
All right.
Well, I came here for a vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't come to do more shit.
That's right.
And the thing is like, I just don't feel like I have to clean my dish right away just because it's dirty.
Right.
Not
Right.
everyone is like that. Everyone does it different. I might just set it by the sink, and like in my house, my husband just washes it.
Right.
He loves it. He loves it. He washes it. He thinks I use too much dish soap anyways, and water. So
Oh, yeah. So he's glad you do
he's
it.
glad. Exactly. It's not like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, here
Oh,
she goes.
perfect. Haven't you worked that out well?
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's how and see, if we take it all like that, like even anything that seems to be going wrong, like I orchestrated this because your mind did orchestrate it. So if you take it
Right.
like my mind orchestrated this, then you're taking responsibility. You're putting responsibility on where it actually is,
Right.
instead of this thing's coming to me or I'm being victimized by this thing or something. So when I notice someone
Of
is
course.
perturbed, I'm sure you can read body language, right? So
Yeah.
I'm noticing that someone is perturbed with me, sometimes I notice that, or let's put it this way, it seems like they're perturbed with me, but if I get a reaction like they are perturbed with me, that's how I know I'm looking at it wrong.
Right.
See? So if I get the feel, I'm glad if I get the feeling reaction. It's not a judgment thing at all. Because if I get the feeling reaction that they're doing something to me, that's opening it up for me to embrace that right now. So I want to see it. I don't want to jump. I definitely don't want to brush it under the carpet, because in the seeing it, I go from one basking experience to another basking experience. I'm just always basking in
Right.
something.
In this world, for sure.
Yeah, I'm always basking
You're always
and
got stuff
frolicking.
going on to
Yeah,
help you bask.
and frolicking too. There's
Yeah.
frolicking.
Oh, yes, and frolicking. Yes. We love frolicking.
Yes, I love it. You know, I'll just feel when I get a sense my friend has got a judgment going on, I'll just feel so energized. All I can think of is gratitude, right?
Yeah.
Just so fun the way just to watch the way it unfolds,
Yes.
you know, because I'll just hold a light, happy, frolicky vibe for when she's ready to return to that
Oh yeah. That's nice. Very nice.
without any thoughts about thinking I need to change or I need to
Right.
change anyone's perception of me. Her
Mm-hmm.
perception of me is also perfect.
Mm-hmm.
See? And also to be in a vibe of learning, because remember, you can't teach anyone you don't learn from, that you're not willing to learn from, right?
Yeah.
So always to stay in a learning vibe really opens you up to the, you know, sensing the fluctuations without being pulled off center by a fluctuation. Because that's basically what's happening when you get lost in a trigger. You got pulled off center, the fluctuation, you took a step in the wrong direction, and then you started steamrolling down a hill like that, right?
Yeah.
Until you end up in a certain place and you're like, holy shit, how did I get here? Why was that such a big fucking deal? Right?
Yeah.
Remember, I don't know if you're familiar with, are you familiar with the Course in Miracles?
Oh yeah, some.
Okay, okay. All right. So I don't know if you know you know that part where Jesus is saying, make everything all the same,
Mm,
right? Making
right.
everything all the same. So you're not taking this thing and you're going, oh well, now that this happened 3 times, this must be different than a regular fucking delusion. Right?
Yeah.
No, he's saying they put it like kind of like put it all in the same basket, making it all the same.
Yeah, right.
So that you could find really helpful. I mean, at some point, you're just gonna you're just gonna see, and it's gonna click, and you're not even gonna have a question again about it.
Good.
Because it's just it just it's meaningless bullshit. You know, all these stories we tell ourselves and each other,
Yeah.
all these, you know, they're just like so meaningless. And, you know, that's really the demonstration. You demonstrate to your own mind that those comments that are coming to you are completely meaningless, which you see what's making it hard to do. It's ego identification. That's all what's
Right.
making it hard, right? Because it's hard for
Yeah.
an ego. And the ego's
Right.
talking and pretending like it's you. So that's why the action is in the observation, because it's kind of like you're observing the ego talking to you as if it's you. So you don't have to take anything that it says as true. Hey, that rhymed.
Yeah. Write that down.
Yep. So do you sense relief now?
I do.
Yeah. So you see how
I
simple it
do.
is?
Yeah, because you know what really hit me is like, oh, that's right. It's that victim shit again.
Uh-huh.
You know, right? Why didn't I see that? Now, because what's the bottom line of this stuff? You know, you kind of
Yeah.
you get to the bottom, and then you're like, because then you know when as soon as I hear victim, you know right away that that's bullshit. You know,
Right.
so
All the
yeah.
victim thoughts. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all victim thoughts whenever you're sensing upset feeling, whenever you're sensing confusion, concern, seriousness.
I know anything other than
Bullshit.
fun and and joy and laughter and happiness.
Yeah, yeah, but you know, don't fight it. You know, don't fight the feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, don't fight the feeling. It's good. The feeling is the means.
Okay.
Is the means. It's because that's how you know you don't want it. You wouldn't choose
Yeah,
it.
and I know that,
Mhm.
and I do know that.
Yeah.
But it's like the patterns are so habitual.
Have you been
And
on the block yet? Have you been on the block?
no,
Okay, get on the block.
okay.
Because here's the thing about the block.
All right,
Those
yes.
patterns are projected in the body sense. Okay.
Yeah, we're saying that. Yeah.
Yes, that's projected in the body sense. You know what? Both my friend who I went to visit and we
Uh-huh.
both noticed changes in each other as far as just like a open, more willing, everything like that.
Really?
Because this is a practice of exactly that. See, in the moment, in that moment, your body sense is projecting so much pain, and you're untrained on how to deal with that. So it's like, how do you see through it? This is a shortcut. Okay, you know, you get
Oh,
don't get
I
those
like that.
don't get those wooden blocks right away. Just go over to, you know what, one of my friends started with, and she's having a great time with, is just a regular foam yoga block, costs $5. And then either you could do the block therapy program, what's it called? The sampler program, it costs $9. Or you can just do some of my shit that's free with that.
That's what I was thinking. Well, I have some
Do it.
yoga blocks. So
Okay, good.
that's
There you
all I
go.
need. Okay.
Yeah, just one of those, and a
Mhm.
towel, and one of my videos. You guys,
Okay.
oh, it's up, you guys. Blockasana.com. Blockasana.
Huh.
Blockasana.com. That's where you're
Okay.
gonna find my playlist. I have 3 videos there so far. So for the
Okay.
on the one that says something about the face, I think it says something about the face and neck or something. That's where I show you how to roll the towel. I think I show you how to roll it in a couple of them, so that you can use the towel to put it under your belly for one position. Because
Okay.
it's a starting one, and that particular one, and look at it like this, you're using it to see. You're not looking at it to change your body. You don't want to idolize your body, right? I'm sure
Right. Right.
you've been following A Course in Miracles. You don't want to idolize we don't want to go into idolatry here.
Right.
We're using the body sense as a means to accessing the pain.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll check it out for sure.
Yay. I love it.
All right, yay.
Have-
Yeah, I
and
know.
have
And you
fun.
got,
And
and your
have
first one
fun.
was your butt. I could use a nice butt.
Okay. Yeah. See, the thing is, anything where your butt doesn't seem, because you remember your butt is in your perception, right? So
Right.
anything where your butt doesn't seem to be a nice butt, that's indicative of pain that you can access. See,
Okay.
pain is fear. So when you access pain is an interpretation, right? It's not even real, right? But you
Right.
can access it, right? Okay, so
Yes.
that interpretation is a symbol of fear. And when you open mentally to releasing that, you're actually changing the patterns, because you're getting a healing right there every time. And
Wow.
you're getting trained, you're training your mind how to be calm in a crisis. See, and that's
Mm,
basically what it is. When you get triggered, that's a
mm.
crisis for the ego. Okay. When you
Yeah.
access pain, you're going to access the same kind of thing, a crisis for the ego. The ego saying, back off that. You don't want to go on to that pain, but you're breathing and you're calm and you're loving and you're gently going deeper into it. See, it's just like the feeling. It's the same kind of thing. The feeling
That's
comes
what,
up and the ego's repelling. The ego's going, no, you know you don't like it. That's good. Now that you know you don't like it, be willing to stop projecting it by going into it. See? Why would you want to project what you don't like? See how the
right.
ego doesn't have your
Right.
best interest at heart? Because
No.
the ego will have you projecting more of what you already know you don't like,
Right.
thinking that you're going to get out of it that way.
Well, the block therapy seems like that's really what they call going in, huh? Or
Going in,
leaning into it rather.
leaning right into it.
Because I'm
Leaning
like, what
right
the
in.
heck does that mean? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, it's helpful because you know, we have wound ourselves around really well with a bunch of thought structures that are secret to us. They're secret to us. So there's a a sense of a body that's reacting to the sense you're get the projection of the world that you're putting out there. Uh, and and it's like, if you don't know, if you don't have practice, that's what I noticed about Vipassana too, you guys. Like sitting in Vipassana, sitting in the pose quietly, witnessing and going through all of that, that's what allowed me to have access. You know, that's what showed me, that's what allowed me to have access. I'm sure there are other ways, I'm sure of it. I don't know them. It's like through this sense of there being pain in a body, I have seen so much and opened so much. That's just how it goes for me. And maybe it'd be the same for other people too. They'd get the same kind of openness. From what I've seen so far, yes, that's the case. That's the case. The only trouble people run into is they actually don't do it. They actually don't get on it because, and you know what? They don't have a choice in that, but they will not allow themselves the relaxation because there's something more important in their mind that needs to get done. So that's why they won't find themselves on the block. Most people won't find themselves on the block. But I'm telling my wisdom dialogues peeps, because I know you guys are devoted, and once you just get the experience for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. Do 1 3-minute thing and you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, just give it 3 minutes.
All right. I can do that.
If someone's going, oh, I don't like it after 3 minutes, it's not for you. We don't need to go beyond that. Like, if it's for you, you'll be like, you'll come off of that thing like, oh, fuck. What just happened there?
All right. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So have fun. I love you.
Oh, love you too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the laughs.
Yeah. I love you.
Yay. Love you too.
And Yvette, oh, we have some people who want to have some dialogue with Hope today. This is so fun. Aloha, Yvette.
Aloha, Hope. Love you so much. Thank you for this.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for responding
to
my call.
Oh yeah, it's always so fun. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what you were just talking about, earlier today, I was having this perception of pain in my right eye.
Yeah.
And I've been told by eye doctors that I have glaucoma, and I've apparently lost some peripheral vision in my right eye.
Okay.
And it's just funny, like with words, like I wrote this in the chat, like, isn't it funny we call using a block to help us open? Yeah. And then
it's funny. It's a block of wood.
It's great. And it's like, what's helping relieve like the pain in my eye is using a drop. I'm using an eye drop, right?
Okay.
And I put that in, I used that more than suggested today, but it helped relieve the pain. And it's the same thing. It's like, drop it like it's hot, like drop it, girl. Like,
yeah, drop it.
It's so funny.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even know what I would do without you, Hope, because, when stuff comes up for me, which seems like way too regular, I just turn you on. I just put on YouTube and start listening to you, and just the sound of your voice, I know I'm going to get relieved of whatever my ego is, focusing on.
Fantastic. Well, you never have to be without me. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, never have to be without Hope.
That's right. That's right. It's not even possible.
I'm feeling some peace. I was crying earlier. I don't know. I guess like, what you've taught me is like, I'm in suffering because I'm following my egoic perception, and it's creating suffering.
Look, here's a really big one. Everyone listen to this. You do not have an ego. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You do not have an ego. It's not even real. It's a structure of thought. It's like a system of thought. Okay. The system of the world follows the ego's system of thought, right? The system of thought crops up in our perception. That is not yours, nor is it you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So when you're going along and that system of crop is cropping up, all you have to do is deny truth to that. All you
Aw,
have to do is smile at it and make it meaningless in the moment. It is, just make it meaningless. It is meaningless. So you're doing,
it's getting a little bit easier.
yeah,
A
good.
little bit easier because I see it. I'm like, here it is again. Like, here
Right.
you go.
How many
Like,
times are you going to go around, right?
oh my God. I had a dream where somebody in my dream was telling me that they said, you've been here 30 million years. Are you done yet? And
Right.
my answer was nope.
Yeah. Nope. I still got game.
Oh, that's great.
I told one of my friends a few years ago, I was like, I like to play games. And as soon as I saw that coming out of my mouth, I'm like, yep, I do. Oh my.
I do. Amen. I do. I love
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Love you. Aloha.
Aloha, my love.
So yeah. Thank you. Oh, Loria's mangoes. That's awesome. I love mangoes. I make mango pie. I make a delicious, nutritious, amazing mango pie. And it's only nutritious because of all the love. Plus I use flour that comes from Italy, so it doesn't have like all that shit in it that they like to put in it in the United States. I like flour that's loved up. I used the towel today. I really like it. I rolled it up so tight. Yeah, the towel's good. Good. I'm glad you're doing it. And you did 2 hours. Lori, see what I mean? See what I mean? Like my friend who I went to visit, she'd always complain to me about how, I'm gonna move a little bit because I'm getting hot, really hot. She'd always complain to me about how she wouldn't be disciplined enough, and she always wanted to be more disciplined, you know? And of course I would tell her, that is not up to you. It's not going to help you to wish you were more disciplined. But when you get the perception that you wish you were more disciplined, that could just be smiled. That thought can be smiled at. Anyways, she blocks for hours a day. She's first time. Oh, here we go, Ann. First time seeing her looking as if she's disciplined, but that's not the case. She's just really having a kick-ass time and she's drawn to it, right? She's like, oh my goodness, you know, those of us who are allowing that for ourselves, like my mom, when she got on it, she said, this is right up my alley. This is exactly what I want to do now that she's 72, what it sounded like to me, you know. You can be any age though and allow that. You can allow that relaxation. The thing is, we're programmed to be wired so tight that we can't allow ourselves to be just sitting around relaxing, right? And so when I'm hanging out with my friend and I'm just lounging, I'm not just lounging, I'm also massaging myself. Just because it's nice, just because it feels good, you know. It's like just allowing the whatever to take place. And you know, I could massage myself all day. You know, I was visiting with a couple friends before and they were going, you don't really need anything, do you? I don't really need much. Yeah, you know, you maybe like offer me some food every now and again, maybe something to drink, but for the most part I'm just sitting there. And you know, that's just a reflection of allowing that, because there's so much not allowing it, and we work ourselves into these ways where we're so busy. And that's another story I hear all the time. I'm so busy. I did not hear that from my friend who I was visiting. She is pretty darn good at lounging. Almost as good as me, almost. Yeah, we're just loving the openings that come through both of us being willing to lounge. Isn't that willingness? You know, and dishes come and stuff like that, but you know, you could even do the dishes because you're not really doing the dishes in a way that's in the same vibe. See, it's not like I have to do the dishes. It comes through inspiration. it's time to do the dishes. You just know it's time to do the dishes. That's what feels like the best thing in the world to do in that moment. It's just how it goes. See? So it's just a matter of, will you allow yourself to be in the moment? In the moment is where all of the guidance and direction and creativity is coming. It's not in some other reality where your house is all clean. Let me just get this cleaned up real fast. Let me just get these taxes done real fast. I was on my taxes today, so that came up. And I noticed when I was on my taxes, how relaxed I am on my taxes today. Oh, this is so nice. I'm so relaxed with the taxes. So then that's the time when the productivity occurs. Because if I sense myself not relaxed with something, I'm observing it in a certain way where either that activity is going to come to a halt, or I'm just going to get a new view and be able to continue it in a different way. So it's like it's not going to keep on going forward the same way while I'm willing to observe it, not for long anyways. Because over time, it keeps on building up, and really quickly too. All this information that wasn't seen before is now being seen. So the choice for truth just comes much sooner. Yeah, mango pie. You got mangoes, make mango pie. I'll send you a recipe if you ask me for it. Mahalo for the reminder to just massage myself. I know, isn't it so funny? Like, we miss these opportunities to just like be really relaxed. And it's because we're not really choosing for ourselves, like whether we're going to massage ourselves or not. We're not choosing that. We're choosing between truth and illusion. And if we're choosing illusion, we're not going to even the things that can apparently relax us. Nothing can really relax us. But the things that we can use as tools for apparently relaxing will not be seen by us. We can't see them. They don't come into our vernacular at all. You might notice afterwards, you'd be like, oh, I could have gone for a walk, but it didn't even occur to me to go for a walk because I was more into chasing my thoughts. You really couldn't have done anything but what you seem to do because of the thoughts. That's always how it is. It comes from the mind. All your action and everything comes from the mind. So it's like, for me, I get a sense of myself as being sometimes really fast as far as producing worldly type stuff, and sometimes really slow, and just then allowing it to go back and forth and be whatever it needs to be, because none of it matters, right? None of it matters. And at the same time, if I'm harming myself with my thoughts, I'm going to get the sense that it matters, and it's going to seem like it matters is my reality, because I'll be reacting to it like fucking matters. There's just no shame in reacting to it like it matters. All that is a sign. It's like a sign that you need help. You need redirection. You've gone down the wrong path. So when you get the sense that you're upset, you've made yourself upset. Remember that. That is just huge to just that for something like that. That's bringing in a thought like, this person has wronged me to I make everything happen. I'm the cause of everything I see. You bring that thought to that, and it can't keep ruling over you, by your permission. The ego wants to get you riled up, wants to get you angry, excited. I'll just notice little things like, oh, I should send an email to this company and tell them how fucked up their product is, right? And just noticing that's meaningless. That's a meaningless thought. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere good, right? So in just noticing it, not trying to control it, it's still going to coalesce however it coalesces, So the next thing I find myself sending an email to a company where, you know, they're offering a free headband if you buy something from them. And I let them know, I go, hey, you know what I would really like more than a free headband is if your pant sizing was consistent. That would be like, because it's a total pain in the ass when you order the same size and it just comes out all different, right? So you know, it's like just noticing is enough. You don't have to control your action. Like I don't have any question about that or problem with it or anything like that. It just is what it is. You know, as far as the manifestation goes, the manifestation's going to go how it goes. So the thought that I need to do something, as soon as I check that thought, that doesn't mean I'm not going to have any action. That doesn't mean there's going to be no action at all. It's just not done with a feeling of victimization. It's more of a feeling of, hey, this is how it is. You know, hey, I'd rather have that than this or something. It's not like you victimized me or you're wrong or you're bad. It's not like a kind of feeling, right? And if it is, that's the manifestation that I need to see too. If I need to see that, I need to see that. But when I'm watching it, it won't keep playing out. Because while I'm watching it, it's not going to keep on going and playing out in that way that's like so confrontational. What is it? Controversy, like making controversy. It's like, it's fine with me. I'm just letting you guys know this is what would entice me to buy. Not you guys are doing your company wrong or something like that. It's like, this is what entices me to buy. If I get pants and the sizing is consistent, that'll be fucking awesome. See, so it's not like you're trying to control yourself or you can't communicate or something. You know, it's just that that feeling where you've been victimized and the thoughts that are propping that up are just seen as meaningless. And the feeling is just allowed to be the feeling. So it can be seen through. So then the manifestation can be whatever it is. You don't have to have a question about that. An evaluation, remember, make no attempt to evaluate yourself. It's always in the moment. It's always in the moment. Are you willing to be released from that pain? Okay, because it's like the ego thought system is triggering pain all fucking day long. Okay, hundreds of times a day, it's triggering pain. Most of the time, people don't notice. It's that brushing under the rug thing. This is a habit that we have, brushing it under the rug. Look, you know, I started early on with this stuff many years ago, actually, but just like noticing little things. Does your thumb go like this? I mean, some people have like their thumb will just go like that when they're nervous. You might be talking, you might be, it's just like gets tense. And it's like just in relaxing things. You know, it's just like your awareness will just like, your awareness on it will relax things. We'll tense up in the body sense all the time. And your awareness on it will allow it to relax immediately. As much as you can relax without fear. Okay, it can only go to the point where you can relax without fear, and that's where the body sense comes in. The body sense is all a reflection of fear in the form of pain. That's why it's called regularly a pain body, because if you push in anywhere, you can sense that pain, and you don't have to push in anywhere to get a sense of it. You can see what comes out of your mouth and the tone in the way it comes out of your mouth, and what comes out of your mind and the tone and the way it comes out of your mind. Like that fucking idiot. That's the pain body. That's just the pain body. It's a tone. It's a certain tone. The way it comes, it's like this victimized tone. I feel it very strongly now in my energy field. Whenever a victimized thought comes out of my mouth, I could feel the resonance of it. It's just so dreadful. It's so sad. You know, it's like such a sad thing, like you're doing this to me. And I can really feel that just like resounding through my body's energy field, and immediately know it's not correct. It's not really correct. And so I could say that's not correct. Shoots those fucking idiots. Yeah, the same thing. See, you start to notice your habits, right? If so, you know, those fucking idiots, you just see that shooting right out of your mind, right? Or your mouth, either way. And when you notice that, you could let that be a red flag for you. And maybe just do a quick body scan too. You're scanning this energy field here and looking for where the tension is. You'll start to notice little quirks that you have, to hold your posture, because it's all posture. It's so funny because it's alignment. It has to do with alignment, right? So you're holding your posture in a particular way that's kind of like pinching off alignment. It's pinching off awareness of certain parts within the body sense. It's really funny. Yeah, notice the body sense. That's right. And watch, because you'll have, oh, you're the best. Thank you. Thanks for making me like that. Because you'll notice certain, like I'll notice, even while I'm sitting here just talking to you guys, I'm constantly being released of tension. Through the process, I'm constantly being released of tension. I'll just notice a little bit of a pull on my knee, for instance. And then as I notice it, I'm just watching it release. I'm watching things arise, and I'm watching things allow them to be released. What occurs for people is they won't notice the tensing up because they're so accustomed to following the thought. Their breath will get really shallow. They're barely breathing now. They're not getting the breath down to their belly. Their breath is just going shallow into the chest, and they're not getting a sense of how they're tensing up in the moment. So that tension gets to be more and more and more and more until it becomes a habit and a pattern. And that's pretty much what we've been doing ever since we popped out of our mom's vagina, or if we were C-section somewhere else. Ever since we popped out of something. That's what we, and for millions of lifetimes. Also for millions of lifetimes, we've been working ourselves up. We've been winding ourselves up like this. And we keep on practicing this until we get to the point where it seems like I don't have time. I don't have 2 hours to do block therapy. People tell me I don't have a life like yours. I don't have 2 hours to do block therapy. Well, I'll let you know how it went down for me in my mind, because it occurred to me early on that it feels good for me to prioritize self-care, whatever that happens to look like to me. When I first started out, I was like 14 years old, and I enjoyed exercising. So when would I exercise? I had a busy house, lots of brothers and sisters, parents. My parents seemed to be really demanding on me. Like I had to watch my brothers and sisters and clean. So I felt like I was just go all the way. And this is as a 14-year-old. Okay. So I felt like you guys, like I just had to go all the way through. I was super busy. Right. So I go, well, what if I just wake up before everyone? And it wasn't pressure on me though. Okay. I have to wake up before everyone. That's the ego's voice. That's the ego. Okay. I have notice the tension. Okay. This means no. It's more like, what if I just got up earlier than everyone? See how gentle that is? What if I just do that? And then the next thing you know, I got an alarm going for whatever time, 4:30, I don't know, it was dark. And I was so happy to have that time where the house wasn't bustling or anything. And it was so easeful. It was just so easeful. I just eased right into it because of the way of thinking and the way of looking at it. It's not like, Hope, you got to get disciplined. That thought did not cross my mind when I was 14. I hope you got to get disciplined. No, it was like, this feels good. I want to do this. When can I do it? 4 a.m? Okay. And then I find myself as a 14-year-old going to bed around 9 o'clock at night. So I could be up at 4 a.m. because I'm busy as fuck all day long. Okay. So that's how it started. Just like, it's just like a willingness to see the solution, right? And so, and it's just like, now it's just, that's just how it is. I have hours and hours of self-care in the play. And I'll go through some times where I'll find myself busier. You guys, if you've been with me for a while, know you've seen some of those patterns. You've seen some of those cycles play out. And I'll still have my self-care for like hours. And you know what? It seemed like to me, it was funny when I was when I was real busy, I thought I was real busy. You know, we're dreaming, so it's not really like that. Thought I was real busy. It seemed like I was being really productive, anyways, which, you know, is usually tied with busyness. But I was getting 2 to 4 hours of self-care in there still every day. It was making me go, how is there enough time in the day for all this stuff to take place? You know, it's like, because it's magic. How's there enough time in the day for me to do all that stuff, produce all that stuff, and also have all that self-care? Because it's magical. That's why. When you mentate it and you say, okay, there's this many hours in a day, I can't do it like that. I do it like that. It's just like watch the pressure building on yourself. If you're just watchful of how you build pressure onto yourself, you'll be able to be released from that because you'll naturally choose release. The more you watch, the more you learn, the more you're alert, you choose release more and more until it just becomes a knack for you. And when you're doing that, when you're choosing the release, everything just works out for you perfectly. You just seem to have the time. Well, I've been working on my gums. I don't know if you guys notice. I notice, but I don't know if you guys notice, but I've been working on my gums for probably close to 3 months now. And wow, it's just like I noticed such a big difference. Like even when I smile, like how it feels to smile. Like it's like, like all this stuff is just like really open up. And, you know, I tell people, yeah, it's an hour every day where I just spend an hour every day where I have my hands in my mouth, basically using gentle pressure to loosen everything up, to loosen all that stuff up. And, you know, one of my friends like, why would you choose that? I'm like, it just feels really good. It feels really good. And the more I'm allowing myself to just go with feelings, I don't have to have really a big reason for it. Of course, I am like getting the perception, or I was getting a lot more of a perception of receding gum lines. Those are just like, it was ridiculous. I looked at them in the mirror at my friend's house. I was like, oh my gosh, they're just like disappearing. They're just like completely disappearing. And it's like, because it's attention. It's attention over time. See how it's over time? It's like an hour. It's over time. It's like this attention over time. It breaks through this conditioning that we put into place that's being reflected in the body sense. So it's like there's pain everywhere. There's even pain in the gums. And my gums were to the touch. And even with my tongue, I could feel they're softer, like they're more gummy. I'm guessing that's probably like how they were when I was like much younger. But I forgot because over time, you know, you just forget. They just kind of like get harder and harder and harder and harder. And it's like, yeah, of course I'm worthy of that. Of course I'm worthy of having that relaxation and experiencing nice soft gums, you know, and a mouth where it's easier to smile. Because here's another thing with our unconscious, I'm gonna use the word unconscious, but it's all consciousness. Okay, it's all consciousness. Unconscious is just really secret. Let's use secret. That's a better word, because it's still conscious. You're just keeping a secret from yourself, right? So there's all these secret beliefs that we started believing from millions of lifetimes ago. So we're already coming in when we pop out. You know, we got no impediments as far as a body sense. A body sense is clear of impediments, but it's a mind that's full of impediments. It's projecting already, as you know, probably even in the womb, it's projecting already onto the body sense and making these patterns start to go. Okay, so it's like you've been practiced on this for so long. It's like going gentle and easy and letting it to unwind. They're being held secret because there's too much fear to see them. You see them in little increments. You see them in a slight from someone else, you know, in the sense of getting slighted by someone. That's where you see the pain that you have wrapped up with all these thought systems. And, you know, it's fear. It's really fear. It's a fearful thought structure. And it's kind of like wrapped around this sense of self that you're making up. So to get through, like to kind of cut through that fear, it's through the pain. It always is through the pain. Whether you're talking in the body sense, or the reaction, emotional reaction sense. Okay. If you're, whether you're talking from that or whatever, it's still pain that you have to go through. Okay. Either way, physical or emotional pain, those are exactly the same. That's why I'm saying it's a shortcut to go into the body sense. And, you know, I've been talking for years about, hey, if you're upset, pinch yourself, because then you can get a sense. And notice it takes you a little bit more pressure when you're triggered to even feel it. Okay. So you pinch yourself until you can feel something interesting. And then your attention is automatically, this is such a simple thing. You don't need any tool. You got hands for this, right? Maybe you don't have hands, use something else, use your elbow. You know, you'll find something, use a rock. So once you make a sensation that you can perceive, your attention goes from the thought to the sensation you can perceive. That's one just really easy way of choosing truth over illusion, because you're going, I want to feel rather than think through this. You know, that's another way of saying you're choosing truth over illusion. Do you want to feel rather than think it? So I got 15 minutes left, you guys. I'm checking out early. So if there's anything you want to talk to me about, let me know, or raise your hand or whatever. But I was talking with a friend about the illusion of aging. And, you know, my friend was having a really hard time with this sense of aging, because, you know, if you follow the ego's voice in the moment, you see, if you get the perception of you look like you're aging, and this is always shifting, it's always shifting all the time. Okay. You get the perception, hey, I look pretty fucking good for my age. Or you get the other perception that says, oh my God, I'm fucking embarrassed because now look how I look. And, you know, I thought I was on something good and now I look like shit. So that's just the way it goes, back and forth like that. You don't have to go along with it. You don't have to get up on the high. You don't have to get down on the low. You can be even with it if you're willing to choose the truth. That's all. It's just choosing the truth. So you take one step. See, that's the thing about this one step. The one step into the direction of untruth starts a whole whirlwind, which you have a habit of following that whirlwind into despair. That's all. So, you know, if you're finding yourself where you feel like you can't come out of your house because you're embarrassed of the way you look or something, it's not the way you look. It's the way you took that step into delusion. And then you took that whole whirlwind of thoughts to drag you right down in a hole. That's all. It doesn't have anything to do with the way you look. You don't look like anything. You're making a perception. You're not capable of really looking like anything. You're only making that perception for a reason, so you can see through this, so you can awaken from dreaming. Okay. So I told my friend, you know what? I've been noticing these vertical lines on myself, like right underneath my chin. And I notice a self-critical thought come up about it. And you know what? I am happy about that. I'm happy about it, because the self-critical thought, it's not a problem for me. A self-critical thought, it's not about me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. That's a thought that's coalescing in the mind and doing its thing and doing its job. Okay. It's got a job to do. It doesn't even involve me. Okay. The self-critical thought comes up and it's got a job. That's the way I look at it. Okay. All right. You got a problem with that? Go take care of it. Does not involve me. See, so the self-critical thought arises, like, for instance, another one is, holy shit, my ass fell. When did that happen? Right? So another self-critical thought. Thank you. You go take care of that. That doesn't involve me. So I'm happy about it. So what I'm happy about, the reason I'm happy about it is that the reaction that people get, and this disables people, the reaction disables people. This is what I'm happy about, because it's, you know, I'm getting a taste. I'm getting a little taste of what people go through when they go into this despair, where they go into, I can't leave my fucking house now because I'm embarrassed if anyone sees me, because I took this thought all the way into this hole, right? So I get a little taste of that, and I could use that as a means for healing the whole illusion of aging and death and everything. Because all that's bringing that illusion of aging and death to us is our reaction to that bullshit. We're reacting to it. That's why I'm like, okay, go take care of that. That the thoughts, they can all take care of themselves. They will. They'll all take care of themselves. So it just goes and takes care of it. And then things, certain fun solutions, they're not real solutions. They're surface solutions. They just occur. They just occur to me. Like something will just occur to me. I don't have to go looking for it. That doesn't mean that researching is bad. Okay. I don't find myself researching a lot. I did around the COVID things. I was just like really interested in that one for healing. I was going to say for whatever reason, but I know the reason. It's always healing. I don't find myself to be much of a researcher anymore. Have been before. I'm kind of like not interested in it, but still, all the good shit comes to me. Doesn't matter. I don't have to do the research now. It just like shows up. Something just shows up. Okay. If you have an appetite for research, that's good. If you don't have an appetite for research, that's good too. It's good to know. It means you don't have to pressure yourself saying, I should do more research. That's the same thing as I should work out. Yeah. That fucking idiots one, Yvette. Those fucking idiots. Yeah, I know. That particular one, it just like caught my eye again. It's the same thing always as you saying, I'm a fucking idiot. That's why you could just be really light with it. It's really light because it's like really, yeah. Okay. Yes, in a sense, that is true. We're all fucking idiots. So then we can just laugh about it. So you don't have to resist that thought. It's just like, yay, we're all fucking idiots. And then that takes the edge off of that thought. Like I'm victimized because they're fucking idiots. That's the thing. People act like they're victimized because there's a bunch of fucking idiots running around. But we're the ones projecting fucking idiots because we don't want to see that we think we're a fucking idiot. It's better for the ego that the idiot is projected outside of ourselves. It's more comforting to the ego that the idiot is projected outside of ourselves. And then once in a while it becomes us. But you know what? It's always us. We're always projecting as if the idiot is out there. But we are just trying to hide the fact that we made ourselves into an idiot, and we do not accept ourselves anymore based on the way we made ourselves, which is complete bullshit. It's not even a reality. Okay. So watch idolizing anything because that'll bring you into a sense of despair. And I noticed this with myself a lot, when I was probably in my late 20s, early 30s or something like that, I thought I wanted to be a fitness person. I thought I wanted to kind of be a famous fitness person or something like that. But I totally thought that I couldn't do it because I didn't have the perfection that I thought it needed to be at that time. See, and that's just like the self-critical thought being taken personally. So it's just different to me now. The self-critical thought isn't a personal thing. So it doesn't make me act a certain way. It doesn't make me not go out. It doesn't make me not go in a bathing suit, like I can have a majorly self-critical thought like, man, look at that fat, skinny, flabby ass. Look at that fucking thing, right? It could come out like that. And I'm just like, yeah, go take care of that. Right? It's just a no thing, right? Because it can get really, like for my friend, it got really yucky, got really mean, really yucky and mean, which is great because my friend knows what it's saying, knows what it is, knows what this thing is. She sees it. She's got her eye on it, even though she still lets her take her down. She still lets her take it down. She's got her eye on it. At some point, she's going to be like, ego, you can't talk to me and tell me what's up. That doesn't make any, that's not reasonable. That's not even reasonable. This doesn't make any sense to me. I'm totally on to you. Hey, wait a minute. You talking to me? Who's there? The only problem is we think it's ourselves. We think that voice is ourselves. It's saying, oh no, look at that wrinkle. Oh, you thought you were onto something good. That's why I'm saying don't idolize. Don't idolize. So a thought will, here's an example. A thought will occur to me. Oh my goodness. My body is going to be so good from doing block therapy. And I'll just notice the tension in that. There's tension in that. That's hopeful. Doubt is the opposite of that. Okay. So in noticing the tension in that, I'm given the relief right away. And in that relief right away, it's like I already do have that body that I think I'm going to get on the block. And the feeling, that feeling is all I ever wanted. That's all I wanted, really. I didn't want the better body. There is no body. I did not even want that, you guys. And, you know, I know you have a hard time believing me when I say this, but really, it's only the feeling that you're after. So then I have the feeling in the moment, and I do not give a shit about that thought. It can go do whatever it does, burn itself out, coalesce with some other thoughts, manifest something. I mean, they burn themselves out by manifesting. So it's like, go for it, but you don't need my involvement. It doesn't need me. See, and in that way, the thought is allowed to just what is a good way to put it? It's allowed to be light. It flows lightly. You know, it's like oh, no attachment to that. Okay, it's easeful. So now when it coalesces and it makes manifestations that are seeming more beautiful. That's just how it goes, because it's light. Because you're not trying to do it. You're not interfering with the process. The whole manifestation, structure of thought, unfolding, that's a process unfolding that does not need you to interfere with it. Even, I hope I wake up on time tomorrow. I got 5 a.m. yoga tomorrow. That's probably why that thought just occurred to me. But, you know, it's just fun. I hope I wake up. I better set an alarm. None of these things make any sense to me. They're not meaningful. You know, I even noticed it when I was young, 20s and stuff like that. Someone say, "Oh, you better set an alarm so you can wake up." And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with setting an alarm. This thought, you better do something so that you'll make sure that you're there, is meaningless. That doesn't mean you might not still find yourself setting an alarm. It's just that things aren't moving forward in fear. So when you're willing to see them as meaningless, they can just take care of the scene for you. It's kind of like how my husband is doing the dishes. The dishes are still getting done, right? It's kind of like symbolic like that. Everything's still getting done. And it's getting done from a place of joy. So it's always manifesting in a way that's more joyful, less painful. I can feel the pressure in. I better set an alarm or I'll be late. Very good. So you better, you know, when I would perceive that from coming from a person, an adult or anything, I would notice that uncomfort. That uncomfort is because that thought isn't worthy of me. There's no, I better do anything. I hear in my mind, you better do. That's an immediate red flag. So I know that the thought is meaningless. That's all. That's really the difference. We make it meaningful or we make it meaningless. If we make all of them the same, all the thoughts the same, then they can all be meaningless, right? Even the thoughts of the Holy Spirit are ultimately meaningless thoughts. It's just that the thoughts of the Holy Spirit will resolve the thoughts of the ego and then be not needed anymore because there's nothing to resolve. Thoughts of the Holy Spirit are always comforting. It's known as the great comforter. You can call it something else if Holy Spirit sounds Christian to you. I'm not bringing it to you in a Christian sense, but I know that the Christians use it too. So you can use another name for that. But that one, you could say that's a gift that's been given you. As soon as you went into delusion and believed yourself to be separate, you automatically had this thought system installed in your mind that would lead you out of your delusion and despair and death. So you can call it a gift. All right, you guys, I'm going soaking. Next week, I'll probably be back to a 2-hour session. I will be in person on Friday at Hawaiian Sanctuary, 3 to 5, in the lounge, probably. I think that's our new location now. You can look up all my stuff at hopejohnson.org. Blockasana.com now goes to my playlist where I have the block stuffs. Also, if you want to get warmed up before you do something with me, you can look at Block Therapy, blocktherapy.com. I don't have a link anymore. I'm not affiliated with them at all. They don't want anything to do with Hope Johnson, except they like me to buy their shit. I like to buy their shit too. I think they're great. Blocktherapy.com. You can go to sampler program. It's $9. You get a feel. You can just get a feel off that. Just do the first position on that, or do the first position with me. I do the first position at the beginning of every one of mine, and you can check it out. And I'd love to share with you. Thank you. I love you. I love all of you. You guys are so wonderful. So until next time, mahalo, aloha, and a hui ho.